I'm really mad I didn't go in. So Thomas, what are we doing today?
Well, we are here in Walkabout Mini Golf because we've decided this was our favorite game of last year, and this is our love letter to the game, the community, and the devs. We're going to try our best to explain why we think this game was the best one, at least for us, last year. You know, Tyler, I've been trying to think of a way to describe it in a way that makes sense. And remember when the first Modern Warfare came out, when we were, like in our teens, how that game felt? You can tell there was a development team that cared, that spent their time on it, that really wanted to make the best game possible. That's how this feels to me in VR. You can tell that it was done with a purpose, that it was done with love, that there was a reason for everything. Like each little thing in here, somebody went through and coded, like all these little leaves, like the game would have been just as good without it, but they put it in anyway. And I think that the way the game has that old school, like passion and love behind it really just shows through in the game and makes the whole thing just absolutely unbelievable, honestly. Tyler. Tyler. Hey.
Whoa. Hey,
we gotta finish up this part of the video. We're not even through the intro yet.
You're interrupting my cat time.
But this is our love letter to the community, the dev team, and the game. And we hope you enjoy it. What is it about this game do you think that makes it so beautiful, Tyler? Is there anything specific? Anything in general?
It's based on each map. Like, dude, the little horror map, you got like the little dolls that magically appear. I wasn't ready to get jump scared in a mini golf game.
That was terrifying. I didn't enjoy that at all.
Like, dude, all these different like little clubs that you can get.
Sure, I got the Western Club. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, I got one that looks like a detonator or something.
Beyond that, like, just look at some of these maps. Like, look at this. Just look at it. Tell me that you wouldn't want to play this map, even just flying through it. Like, this is a map you can go play. Or there's this map that is just as good.
And then there's one like this one where they have arcade games that you can just play.
That's true. You can. 8-bit layer. That's a great one. But I mean, you have all this, even this one. It's super fantastic. It's so much fun to play. There's this map too. Like, you got whales and everything else, turtles, sharks. Like, it's absolutely stunning to be here. And again, VR does not do it justice. Like, you watching it through a screen, I promise you, does not do this game justice. Being here and things having distance and everything, it blows my mind that a development team of like 32 people could have made something like this and made it in this kind of detail.
Yeah, and this is just a hard version of one of the maps too. Like,
yeah, this is one map out of, what is it, like 20 something, like 23 or something?
Yeah, and then you times that by 2 because you have an easy and a hard mode. So
in a hard mode, yeah.
And they're not just
like 40
adding
something maps.
And they don't just like add obstacles in your way. There's a bunch of different things that they do, and you're like, this is like a nighttime under the sea, when the easy version was just regular daytime. So none of these lights are all there.
It adds ambiance. And then you have the golf balls that you can find. Each map has 18 golf balls you can find, and that's one of the ways to unlock the hard map for whatever one you're playing. And then there's a golf club for each map too. It's not just individual maps that you're playing. It's easy, hard, there's golf clubs to find, there's clubs to find. It is just an absolutely wild experience. There's not really a good way to describe it if you haven't been here, but I'm telling you, if you get a VR and you don't know what to play, you have to come in and try this game. You have to. There's like, I think 7 free maps with hardcore modes, with balls, with clubs, and then there's this many other maps that are DLC that aren't too expensive. We'll get into that later. But you have to give this game a try. It's so much fun.
Yeah, another good thing about these maps is they do a great job of making them all different. Like, they're not just like, oh, hit the ball straight to the hole. No, like, they just set the scene.
On each map, there's like a theme that's going on. Like, if you look around the map and you kind of pay attention, there's like a whole story that you can kind of unfold as you're going through it. It's magnificent. Almost like there's writing to it, along with visuals and everything else. There's so much variety in this game. Every map's a little different. They're all uniquely beautiful in their own way. We don't have enough time to go into each one of them, just some of them that we showed you in this one, but you gotta understand when we say this game is beyond any other game, the reason it won our favorite game of last year, a big part of it is how beautiful it is. You get home from work and you're tired or whatever's going on, you need to relax and you want something fun to do. You can hop in here, play a couple holes, and just be at peace. And it is wonderful. It is the best gift you can have after a long work week, a long work day, a stressful afternoon, whatever the case may be. Tyler?
Yeah?
Tyler? We have more video. Where are you? What the hell are you doing in the stagecoach?
Dude, my back hurts. What did we do?
I don't know. I know I got a mean hangover.
You know what was beautiful about that?
What?
Just like how accurate it is. Like in certain maps, like Wallace and Gromit, when you hit your ball in the paint, it just stops immediately. There's no random shenanigans. Like you just hit that and it's slowed down.
Yeah, the physics of it. There's jam, paint, sand. There's moon sand or dust, I guess. What else? I mean, obviously there's water, but you don't want to go in that. It's just, it makes you angry.
Yeah, there's like random cubes that can launch your balls off in the 8-bit map. Like you just start hitting it.
You can freeze your ball in Ice Layer, and then you have to melt it. It's a whole thing.
Oh, dude, that is right. Yeah, the little droplets that come off the ball were really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they did an incredible job at like making this feel like you're actually playing.
The environment feels very real. Yeah. Like at no point are you like, that's not how ice would react, or that's not how sand would react. Like it feels like you're playing into those surfaces. And like this, Tyler, the way that the controller vibrates in your hand when you hit the ball, when you're trying to make a really epic shot, it just feels amazing.
Oh, that was almost beautiful. That was almost a whole one. I don't like your deadpan stare.
Well,
okay, Debs. One thing, can you put some emotion in these characters' faces?
They
like,
talk.
Look,
if we're not in a private call, they talk. They probably get pissed that we're not using that feature.
Well, I'm deaf. Okay, I can't hear the game chat.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this part in just as part of, the whole thing. When you talk in this game, if you're not in a private call, your mouth does move. You don't look like this all the time, but for editing purposes, we get clear, more consistent audio in our videos if we use private calls.
I'm raising my hand.
Okay, yes, sir.
This is realistic because you kind of do have resting face in real life.
Okay, well, he's not wrong. It's just rude to say.
So yeah, like there's a lot of holes in this game that you can follow the traditional path, or you might see something like this rock and you're like, I think I could bounce it off that. Yeah, that's fine. Why don't you hit it this time?
Yeah, you're right, Tyler. It is fun finding little, doodads like that to kind of either impress your friends or, practice a cool little trick shot. I suck at chipping, though.
Doodad, are you actually the age of the guy that your avatar is?
All right.
Bye-bye.
And these shoots are super fun, Tyler. There's a lot of the levels have things like this on it, and it's almost like a Rube Goldberg machine, and it just feels fun. It's so much fun to see the physics of the ball bouncing around and making it to the hole. It's so good.
Yeah, I just love the sounds of it just click-clacking in there.
I do like the clickety-clacks. It reminds me of trains. Which, speaking of, one of my favorite things in any of the maps is on this map, there's a steam engine turned over outside. So, Tyler, how do you feel about the power in this game? How it feels to actually, hit the ball at different speeds and everything?
Dude, it's realistic. Like, I actually feel like I'm giving it a good little smack. Anytime there's a hole like this, that's way down yonder.
Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Sorry, I can't help it. But yeah. No, it does. It feels good. Like when you hit the ball, it feels very much like you're hitting it in real life. I played golf an absolute ton as a kid, actual golf, and practiced mostly putting. And I'll say firsthand, it feels pretty realistic. It's very immersive.
You didn't even hit it hard enough.
All right, Mr. Big Shot, then show me how it's done.
You want to see my true power?
I mean, that was some power. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I bet that's how them windows got broke out of that saloon.
You know who else gave it to you?
X? Yeah, like that. That feels like, you know, if you putt with your arms on your hips and everything like you do in real life, it feels super realistic. So I think this is one of the best examples of how the game feels, right? It's a simple task. Get this ball into that, have it roll down, and head towards the hole, right? Seems simple, but as simple as it may seem, it is a much more challenging shot than you would suspect.
What, it's not just you hitting it in there?
I mean, it is, but like, when you first play it, a lot of these maps, when you first play them, a hole that seems this simple can be very deceiving. And here's a clip of another time where it doesn't look like the hole would be very hard. But it is. It's super hard.
I don't want to talk about that hole.
Yeah, the one with the little lip?
Yeah, I'm not talking about it.
Yeah, you tried it that for like probably 7 or 8 times before you got that little lip.
You
Something
said,
that simple.
You said you weren't going to bring that up ever again.
Well, I specifically videotaped it, so you knew eventually I was going to. Something that simple looking where you're like, oh, no big deal, can just be an absolute, like, ruiner for your whole round. You can be, you know, -10, and then all of a sudden you're at -2 or something, just from one stupid little crook in the green.
Now, you realize where we're going, right?
I do. I do know where we're going. It probably is your favorite place in the game if I was betting.
It is. This was the first hole-in-one that I ever got.
It's true. It was a glorious one, too.
It is
We'll cut to a clip of it here.
It is a high that I chase every time we play this game, and nothing's come close to it.
Yep. Your first love, you know. That is one thing we haven't really covered yet, though, is the satisfaction of a good hole-in-one. But the hole-in-ones are super fun. There's not a way we can describe it that really does it justice. When you get one, it feels incredible. You feel like a champion, even only for a moment.
I know I did. Do you remember how many times I replayed it up here?
Yeah, I thought you were genuinely losing your mind. Even just those close shots feel awesome. We have a whole bunch of clips of that too. And genuinely, it is like, you know, edge of your seat. You're hoping it goes in, even if it doesn't. No, I'll play a couple of them here so that you get an idea of what we're talking about. But they are almost as satisfying as getting a hole in.
So this hole is a good example of how hard chipping can be. It looks simple enough. Getting into his heart. But trying to figure out like the angle, like how straight you need to be, the amount of power you need.
Similar to what I was talking about at the water tower, this is the same thing, but even more pro shot. Where, yeah, you
can
the
never
perfect
hit
amount
it.
of power and shot. I've literally never hit this shot, ever. I've probably played this map 30 times.
You want to see me do it?
Yeah, I do want to see you do it.
Okay. This is your time to shine. You got this.
My first time! Literally my first time ever getting it.
After you were just talking so much crap about how you never did it.
Woo! Yeah! That's the first time I've ever done that. I got a new hole record. I will say, Tyler, I wish there was a whole map where you just played mini golf across a train, like a James Bond style map, and you're just on a train the whole time. I would go absolutely crazy for that. 10 extra points if it's a Western train that you're playing through. Yeah. You know what, Tyler? It's crazy to think that all this was done by 32 people. I mean, when the game first launched, it was like, I think 3 or 4. But even then, to build up to 32, it's still crazy that all of this, like 50-something total maps, all of it, like all the Easter eggs and everything, was 32 people. the amount of like love you'd have to have for what you were doing to spend the time to do this, to, like program all these physics in, is insane. Like watch what happens if I hit this ball into this thing. It just goes away. So those become the barriers on the map. It's wild. It is insane. I love every minute of it. I love them for it. You know, it's both beautiful and sad, Tyler.
The hot dog cart above you?
Maybe so. But no, like I don't know exactly how all of it works, right? I have a loose understanding of how money changes hands with people like Meta and the development team. And I would guess that if it costs us, $4.50 per DLC map, they probably only see $1 or $1.50 of that. And they could have decided to make the DLC maps $10, $15, $20 so that they could make more money. But I would bet that they chose to make less money to keep it affordable for the fans. But I think that's a really beautiful thing, if I'm right, which I'm sure I am. Thank you, devs, for that.
How do you think they planted that tree over there?
Probably with a shovel. We have talked previously about how beautiful the map is, but we really do have to give a shout out to the sound engineers of this game too. The ambiance, like the pigeons cooing, cars going by, the trams, in every map there is really, really good audio, and we don't want to leave them out.
Shout out to, subscriber number 24, your champ.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to our fans. As, weird as I'm sure all of you are.
Know what? No, let's stop that right now. You think you have fans?
There's not been one hashtag Team Tyler, so you can shut up.
You're right. I'm out.
Not one comment. Oh. I don't think I can do this channel without him. He does look well pissed. But yeah, the audio engineer in this, big shout out, along with everyone else. You all play a part in the ultimate machine. Oh, there's one thing I did forget to mention, Tyler. The dev team, the Mighty Coconut, which we haven't set up until now for some reason, the Mighty Coconut is what they're called, has 2 other games. They have 57 Degrees North, which is like a cool cell phone game, choose your own adventure, like tons of different endings. It looks very fun. And then another game called Laser Mazer, which is also for your phone, and it sets up almost like a VR environment that's mazes in your house, outside, wherever you are, that you have to go through like in real life with your phone. It looks pretty interesting. I haven't played it myself. I've seen videos of people playing it, and I could see how it would be fun. I guess the long and the short of it, though, Tyler, is, you get a lot for little in this game, and you can tell the devs care.
You could say the same about me. I was talking about
All right, let's get to the Easter eggs and stuff.
Thomas, I love in between maps just sitting down for a minute and eating.
Yeah,
drinking,
hanging out in the break room, that I'm sure was easy for a lot of people to find, but took us like a month and a half to find on our own. Again, we don't look this stuff up. We just find things naturally and think it's amazing. And Tyler found this one day pretending he was a shark flying around underneath the map.
Yeah, I do like to scare him if he's not paying attention to where I am, just popping up from underneath the map.
Yeah. So we'll preface this by saying there is absolutely nothing down here to do technically. You don't play golf. It doesn't unlock anything. They just added this whole big area just for our enjoyment. Probably for theirs, really. And you have all these rooms. And the ones with lights on them have what's in some of the maps. Most of them are empty. I don't know why any of this is here. I'm sure at some point maybe they'll add stuff to it. I have no idea. But it's such a random thing to add into the game, but it's so much fun. It shows that they care. And there's a bunch of Easter eggs, like this one, that we think was crazy. This periscope that is on another map where you can look through the periscope. That was wild.
I think I have a clue on what the next map is going to be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
You want me to show you? It's in this next room.
Yeah.
I'm seeing an Elvis poster. And I see these blueprints. By God,
oh, yeah.
I I think Elvis is next.
Yeah, it seems very likely. I mean, there's a guitar in this other room, too. It wouldn't surprise me, though, because they got Easter eggs like this in the game. And it's wild that they would even put this in there. I mean, I guess it's fun for them. It's fun for us, for sure. It's 100% fun for us. But, like, you know, they don't have to, but I'm glad they do.
So, Thomas, you know, usually I play this game with you, but there's been a couple times where I'm like, who else plays this game? So I just click on quick play and like see the kind of people I match up with, and I've had nothing but like good experiences every time. It's been the nicest group of people. I didn't have the DLC maps or anything like that, and they're like, "Have you played a new map yet?" And I'm like, "No, there's a new map," and they just put me in their lobby, and we just play maps that I didn't even buy yet.
And it's a great feature that they have that guest map thing, where if I own the map and you don't, you can still play it. You can't collect the balls, you can't get the club, but you can go in and play the course with them, and it's a rich community. You're absolutely right. There's not a lot of screaming squeaker kids. There's a few, but it's mostly, you know, people 30 plus, and they're all very, very nice. Well, Tyler, you know, I had fun. I hope the devs enjoyed this little love letter that we wrote for them. Hopefully, if anybody made it to this part of the video, you know, thank you for making it this far. We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed this game, although that is a tough bar to reach, if we're being honest.
And I want to give a big thanks to any of our like new subscribers and all that. We really appreciate you clicking that button. It means a lot.
It does.
We're kind of dumb.
Yeah, we are a little dumb. Hopefully that's enjoyable and not toxic.
For someone to want to sit there and just listen to the dumb stuff that we got to say.
Appreciate you for that. You're the real champions.
Yeah. You're part of the cool kids.
Thank you to the dev team. Thank you to the community. Thank you to everybody. With all that said, take them away, Tyler.
Hit that like and subscribe button. Ring that notification bell. Until next time.
Until next time.
And, you know, if you're interested, devs, hit me up for a collab.